out of town for today, and he asked me to sit in his absence. Since I have my 30 seconds of fame, I thought I'd use it to create a little ponder for all of us, and that's what if? What if we all cared about our town beyond measure? What if we worked a little harder to make it a better place? What if we had passion and commitment to what we do and who we serve and the under-engaged, the underfunded, the underloved? And I just wish that we could all agree that we love Lamar and we want it to be a better town. So think about that. What if we woke up tomorrow morning and we decided to make it a better place? And with that, I will start the meeting. Jeff Alexander, would you do our invocation?
Our Heavenly Father, we're very grateful for the opportunity to meet together this evening in the City Council meeting. I thank you for all of those council members and our mayor and city officials who work diligently to make our community a better place to live, for the passion that they have to do so. We love our city. We want, Lord, your will to be done. We want, Lord, your blessing upon us, Lord, that we may serve you effectively. And we ask for wisdom and guidance among all of the city leaders, Lord, tonight, and discussing all of the business and the details that need to be addressed. And we ask this in Jesus' name for his glory. Amen.
Amen. Mike, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I now call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Joe Gonzalez.
Here.
Mike Bellamy.
Here.
Jerry Jenkins.
Here.
Kurt Crespin. Oscar Riley.
Here.
Manuel Temez.
Here.
Anne Marie Crampton.
Here.
Rob Evans.
Here.
Kristen McCray.
Here.
Lance Clark.
Here.
Okay, I'm not aware of anything that needs to be pulled off of our consent agenda and voted on separately, or if any of the council members have anything they want to discuss.
I have a question.
Sure.
Looks like a misnomer, but it first says first quarter state brain surcharge. State's got a brain?
It has to do with traumatic brain injury, and it's through traffic tickets.
Okay.
Sorry.
Good question.
When it said
TBI.
state brain, yeah, that's what I was questioning.
I make a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Joe and a second by Jerry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of.
Thank you. Okay, we're at the audience participation portion of the meeting. During this portion of the meeting, anyone may speak on any subject which does not appear on the agenda. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each and at the discretion of the council. And make sure that you provide your name and address. Is there anybody who'd like to address?
Good evening, Council. My name is Ginger Coberly. I'm with Mackey Realty, and I'm here tonight representing Brad Litch. Brad is the owner of Licht Homes, and they are looking to develop a property off Memorial Drive, located on Sage Drive. The plan is to create 4 new homes there. They were grateful to hear that the council has decided to renew the developer program that was in place a couple years ago. And we're Very excited about the $5,000 per lot that the development did for the development of those 4 lots. They think it's very generous and appreciate that the city of Lamar is collaborating with them on the project. At the same time, the cost of rising construction have put them in a tricky situation. Licht Homes would like to be transparent and let you know that the cost for the water and sewer service lines that need to run to those lots came to over $172,000. They received 2 bids, one from the city and one from another contractor. As experienced developers, those numbers were way too high to make the project work. So in an effort to make this a viable project, as well as keep the cost of the finished homes within reason, Licht Homes would like to request the city of Lamar consider increasing that contribution amount to $25,000 per lot. We see Lamar as a wonderful place to be and live, and we hope to partner with you and bring more housing opportunities to Lamar and Powers County. If possible, we'd like to request that this matter be added to the next council agenda or whatever we need to do to move forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will certainly take it under advisement. I'm sure Rob will be working on it.
I'll bring it up.
Any other audience participation? Okay, we're on to city treasurer's report.
Hi, I just wanted to give an update. I had let everybody know last council meeting that our on-site audit was getting ready to happen. The on-site has been concluded. We concluded it on Wednesday. I think it went well. I just want to thank Linda and my staff, Mercedes and Tressa and Mike Cynthia, and Michelle and everybody that contributed it, everything I asked for, they got it to me promptly, and I passed it on to the auditor. So we'll continue to work on a few finishing things for the audit. I should have a draft by mid or end of May. We'll have a final in June, and then the auditor will come back and present that to council. So I just wanted to let you guys know where we were at on that. So, and that was all I had for this evening, unless somebody has questions for me.
Any questions for treasurer?
I don't have any.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now on to the city clerk's report.
Our February sales and use tax collected in March was $333,688.51, which was up 7.18%, or $22,363.79 from 2021. Our year-to-date collections were $1,228,048.02, which is up 1.85%, or $22,361.83 from 2021.
Thank you. Now, city administrator's report.
All right, hey, my Coffee with Rob dates are April 13th at Dunkin' Donuts, 20th Daylight Donuts, and on 27th Brew and Others. Come on out, let me buy you some coffee, talk to me about whatever you want to talk about. No promises, but I will buy you coffee. All right, Easter is coming up next Sunday. Be prepared and realize how important that day is for everybody. A Powers Economic Prosperity 22 annual meeting honoring our past on Thursday, April 21st from 6 to 7 p.m. at the End of Line Arena at Camp Amache, Grenada, Colorado. So I'll be there. I'm not buying your coffee then, but I'll see you there if you come out there. Some of the projects we've been going on here in the last week. We did get the blue building moved, if you guys get preparing for Harvey, so we had a lot of guys working really hard, so good job. I want to tell my guys good job, everybody who did that and helped out on there. Picked up the tree spade today, so we're going to be moving forward with our activities with getting some trees planted in Lamar, and I'm going to go out there and participate with a little, or at least go see how fun it is to see all those fifth graders running around on Thursday. Let's see. We're gonna work
Rob?
yeah, go ahead.
Where and when are they planting the trees?
Thursday
Where?
at Little Creek Park, Thursday afternoon, starting about 12:30.
Thank you.
All right. We're working really hard to try to have a draft to you guys for the next council meeting for the salary study.
we're gonna have something to show you. Hopefully, it's something to, far enough to where we're really close to getting done, but I want you guys to take a look at what we have. And they have come back with some preliminary results. We're still working between, Treasury, myself, and a few other people that we're gonna come back with something to you in the next meeting. Let's see. Okay, here's something. I believe we're gonna be working on a safety message with the schools about a recent increase in this Orbeez challenge. You guys heard about shooting these, frozen water pellets, and the guns are starting to become more and more gun-like. It used to be orange and all that kind of stuff. So I've let Kyle work with the superintendent to develop a message to be, something that's it's just gonna be a safety message, because we don't want to have any bad events that end up, the publicity's bad enough, but we don't want anybody injured or anything like that because of this. And I guess I have some other stuff for you guys later, but that's all I have right now.
Do we have a time set for the next, we did a breakfast this month, and so I'm not sure if we're doing a breakfast or a dinner.
Once a quarter, the breakfast will be one more breakfast, and then it'll be then it'll be a dinner. So I do not have the location for the next one, but I will get that with the next meeting.
Do you know, Brenda? No?
I believe it's top of the.
Okay. Okay, reports and correspondence from council?
I don't have any. No.
Oscar? No. Really?
I don't have any.
Okay.
I'll go.
Okay.
Met with the senior center today on their monthly board meeting. Their next meeting is May the 10th. Commodities come in tomorrow. And if there's anybody who knows of somebody who can't get out and get commodities, they can contact the senior center and get a proxy form filled out and a picture of their ID, and then they can deliver those commodities to those individuals. And that's about it.
How are they doing on their kiln?
Some serious stumbling on that, and you may need to talk to them
Okay.
further.
Okay. We have no other reports. We'll go into new business. We have let me get there. We have a public hearing for a special event permit for the Lamar Chamber of Commerce to host a beer garden during Lamar Days. Linda, was it advertised?
It was advertised and posted.
Okay. Kyle, would you like to come up and talk to us? Oh, sorry. We'll go, do I hear a motion to go into
So move.
public hearing?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign?
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay.
No, we did an investigation into this. The application is legal and pending, and my recommendation is for the application to be approved.
Any questions for Linda or Kyle? Okay. Do we have anybody from the audience who'd like to talk for the beer garden event? Could you give us your name and address, please?
Lisa Shorty, 30800 County Road 6.5 in Lamar. And Sally Harmon, 412 West 2nd Street in Lamar. And we're both here on behalf of the Lamar Chamber of Commerce Board, obviously speaking in favor of, since we put in the application. This is the second year that we are doing kind of a Friday evening beer garden street dance cornhole tournament, just kind of trying to make a whole weekend out of Lamar Days as opposed to just park on Saturday, you know. I feel like Wiley Heydays, the whole town, even Lamar's there the whole weekend, kind of same with everywhere else, Grenada. You know, we'd like to see that in Lamar. We want to get the whole community involved, you know. Great time to do class reunions or get-togethers, family reunions, just a whole weekend with it. So kind of run it the same exact way we did last year, same way we do Oktoberfest. If you have the map, it's the same exact map. Maybe even a little condensed. Val did the map though. She couldn't find her copy of it to give it to me today. But it is about the same setup. Everything will be fenced off. As usual, we ID everybody as they come in at the gate. Only give wristbands to everybody 21 and up. And then we also, of course, check those at the table where we sell the tickets to get beer. So it's kind of a double check system. You know, they can't buy tickets if they don't have a wristband. We only give you a beer if you have a wristband and tickets. So the whole chamber board will be tip certified by that event. Everybody who's not already is scheduled to do the tip certification on May 7th, I believe, Val said. So everybody that's not up to date will either renew or the new people are getting tip certified that day. I'm trying to think, Coors is doing, they always help us out with everything, our signage, you know. No one under 21 is left drink, all that good stuff. The chamber board will be there to help clean up and set up. Any questions?
2-day event?
It is, the beer garden is only Friday evening. It'll be open 6 to 10. The permit's for, I believe, 5 to 11 to give us time to set up and clean up so that we don't have to rush everybody out as soon as we're done. Obviously, weather permitting, last year we closed down pretty early because there was a torrential downpour, but it was a really nice event up until then. We have also extended our vendor invitation to our food vendors for Friday evening to set up, to try and get people downtown. Obviously, the beer garden's only for Friday evening, but while I have the microphone, if we could invite everybody out for a barbecue Friday afternoon also to kind of get things up, get some people downtown as opposed to just the park for the weekend.
And when is that?
It is, we're gonna do Friday at the chamber from 10:30 to 1:30, I believe. We're hoping to maybe get some of the city folks that work for the city back, since I know their lunch hour is a little different. They always used to come to our wake-up breakfast, so trying to make our time frame work a little better for them. But we would love to see all of you there. That's what.
Sally, do you have anything to say?
Well,
I think she covered it all.
I've done a few.
When the others get tip certified, can you guys send copies to Linda, please?
Yes, we will.
Thank you.
Is there a limit of drinks per patron?
No, not necessarily a numbered limit, but with the tip certification, I think Jerry said it before, they teach you all of the things on how to know if people have been overserved. So that's kind of the purpose of doing that, so we recommend cut people off. We've never really had to. We've had a couple of situations over, gosh, the 10 years I've been involved with this chamber, but not a whole lot. We usually luck out pretty good. We try to close things down early enough that they can scatter to the bars if we limit our the time.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any other people that like to talk on the for the event? Okay. Anyone would like to talk against the event?
I'm Galen Burnett, 800 South 6th Street here in Lamar, Colorado. And I want to speak against it. I was glad that Anne Marie came out with our what if. And the first thing that she talked about was, what if we were doing things that would improve and protect our city? What if we try to make our families a higher priority? What if we want to build up and encourage and strengthen our city? What if we don't want to have anybody getting hurt or damaged because they've come to a beer garden? Some of you may have seen some news where an athlete, a famous athlete, was killed this week. Anybody see that? walking as a pedestrian. 75% of the people who are killed, who are hit and killed, that happens during the nighttime. 75% of the losses comes at night. This is when our beer garden is going to be happening. If the people get killed, 38% of the people killed who are walking are killed because they are themselves legally drunk. We don't need to have this alcohol. I am going to enjoy the Lamar Days. It's one of my favorite holidays. I love the old cars especially, and things like that. So we can have a good time without having alcohol. We've got 5 different places here in Lamar that shows that some people are having problems dealing with their alcohol. Crossroads, turning points on South Main Street, Advantage Treatment Centers on East Maple, Southeast Health Group, 100 Kendall, and they are in other places also down through the valley. Domestic Safety Resource Center on Lee Street, and the Region 6 Alcohol and Drug Center in Los Angeles. These are 5 different places right here. All of them are in Lamar except for the Los Angeles one. People are having problems. This is an opportunity when you can say, we're not going to approve the beer garden. We're going to protect our city. We're going to protect our families. We're going to protect. So I would appreciate if you would take that into consideration and vote against the beer garden. Thank you.
Thank you, Galen. Any other audience members opposed? Okay, so I'd entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Do we have a motion or any action out of this?
Make a motion to approve beer garden for Chamber of Commerce.
I have one question. And here it says, in the absence of any valid protests. Was there any protests at all?
There wasn't.
Thank you.
I'll second.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. All opposed, same sign.
We have a split vote with council members Bellamy, Crampton, Gonzalez, Jenkins, and Temez voting yes. Councilmember Riley voting no.
Thank you.
Motion passes.
Okay. So moving on to the next item 2, a motion to ratify approval of this, to submit a letter of support to submit request for appropriation of congressionally directed spending funds and grant application. Would you like to speak on that, Rob?
Well, I'll start it out. We had a very short, timeline to be able to get our hand into the possible pot to get $20-25 million in congressionally directed spending, and we needed to get an application in. We did the poll, and we want to ratify it, make sure that it's a legal. It's not an application. It's just putting our name on in the hat to be able to get drawn. So it's an opportunity we couldn't pass up, and we want to be able to possibly put that towards a wastewater plant or something like that. Linda may want to finish up on it.
We went ahead and did the phone poll because the deadline was, I believe, 4 p.m. last Thursday. As you can see with the attached phone poll, Everybody voted a yes, with the exception of Councilmember Crampton, and I had to do the paperwork before she was able to get back to me, but she did vote a yes.
Make a motion. We accept the phone poll.
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion by Oscar and a second by Jerry. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Okay, motion.
Is there-
Unanimous in favor of?
Is there any idea when we'll get any answer back?
I
as
did
far as the
get, from both of the
consideration?
congressional offices, I got responses saying thank you, and they would get back to me as soon as they have some type of idea, but not a date yet.
Okay, we're on to item 3, which sounds vaguely familiar. This is a request from Prowers County that we write a letter of support for their request for congressionally directed spending funding.
Just if you don't mind, a little bit of information is they also signed letters in support of us being able to get the congressionally directed spending, and I think it would just be a good idea to go ahead and show support to them because we're working together well, and it would increase our ability to work together as a team later too.
I assume they had different deadlines if... Okay.
It was different projects, so it was different, so they were okay with us waiting until the council meeting.
And their letter of support would be used to fund Prowers County EMT training and recruitment project. I think that's important to know.
Make a motion to authorize council to support county letter.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Oscar and a second by Joe. All in favor, say aye.
Whoa.
Aye.
They're also using their funds not just for EMT, but to build a rural fire department, correct?
2. Okay, there's 2 letters of
I just want to make sure everybody was clear that what we're...
Thank you for that clarification. So I think we're ready to vote, correct? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay, item 4. This is a little confusing.
Did we already go through that when I thought there are 3 letters.
They're different topics.
Mhm.
If you read them close, they were just saying that there were other things besides.
Oh, okay.
It's a letter of support to request that Governor Polis veto House Bill 22-1024. Rob, would you like to speak about that?
Right, this is a CML recommended letter that they wanted, they're working on our behalf, and they're working on for us to be able to, we want to send a letter to tell Governor Polis that we do not want this to pass. So, my experience with these type of groups, they have our best interests at heart. We pay them for that reason. They're making the recommendation that we do this, and it's going to be better for us if we go ahead and support. So I would say veto this, in support your opposition, express our opposition to this.
Right. And there's, in this particular case, it's not that this House bill would directly affect us, but it is certainly an encroachment on home rule and our ability to collect our own tax.
Make a motion, we sign the letter of veto to the governor.
I guess we need to make sure we create a letter and then allow the mayor to sign.
Yep. Whatever.
Will you be creating that letter, Lance?
But we already went through this and approved this for the mayor to sign, because the mayor brought it up at a previous meeting, and I thought we said, yeah, get the letter.
And this issue didn't come up to us until last week.
Yeah, this is a new one. It's very closely related, but the last one was for, what was the take a piece of land, eminent domain type of situation. This is a little bit different.
I think we have a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion by Oscar and a second by Jerry to create and sign a letter of support for Governor Polis to veto House Bill 22-1024. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay, item 5. Security contract with Sand and Sage Roundup Fair Board for the Wild West Cook-Off Contest.
This is something we do every year for the Fair Board. When they have their barbecue cook-off, they're required to have security there. We generally just do one officer throughout the night, so I guess they can have security there. So, but it's by the Kansas City Barbecue Association rules that they have to have security there. So we're just helping them out. This is the standard agreement, $40 an hour, 8 hours, so the total will be $330.
I would like to say that's a great organization to have in the town, as a barbecue organization. Just want to say my support for that type of thing. That's a really good one to have.
Kyle, looking at the wrong thing. Is this the same agreement that we've had for the past few years?
Correct, just the date.
Just the date changes?
And this year we went from $35 to $40 an hour. Council approved that in the rates and fees schedule.
Okay.
But we're $40 an hour.
You had a question?
Yeah. Item 4, payment for services. Minimum charge of $160. So you said it's going to be $220?
$320, 3 hours, $40 an hour.
Carry on.
We have 3 members of the Fair Board with us, or the barbecue, whatever you are. Would you like to come up and speak to the council?
I can.
You need some judges?
Yes, do you still need judges? Because I'm willing.
Joe,
I'm willing.
Hello, City Council. I'm Diane Poole. You want my whole address and everything? 406 West Oak, Lamar.
I'm Cindy Bennett, 8076 County Road MM.3 in Lamar.
And do you have some questions for us? Do you want us to tell you all about it? The cook-off, actually, the teams start coming in on Thursday night, and we line them up on the street and then inside the park also. And
How many vendors you got this year? Or barbecuers?
currently, we have 28.
Diane, now they do sell to the public, is that correct?
No.
No, they don't sell to the
But
public?
we will have a People's Choice
Okay.
table where we will sell sandwiches and stuff.
And that food is cooked by some of the teams. They sign up for that People's Choice. Currently, there's 12 teams that will be cooking the pork butt. They bring it to us. So they aren't there to feed the public, and I know that sounds really harsh, but they're there to compete. Sometimes there's only 2 people. One's cooking and one's running food. They don't typically bend, so that's just not what they're there to do. They're there to win money.
Okay.
But they can change their mind at some
Yeah,
moment.
we have had some come and go, hey, can we go ahead and bend? And we're like, absolutely.
Is there any other way that we can get more of the community involved?
Creeds, it would be nice if we could get some, we've been asking for vendors and stuff, but some of the vendors won't come.
So I mean, you, like even vendors that aren't competing,
Yes.
just to have vendors out there.
People that we do
Yeah.
this.
But time of year, graduations, they're having graduation parties, so they've been hired to go do parties and stuff, so some of them are coming, no. Creeds is coming to town.
Okay.
And I think Mr. Watson from Shining Loss is gonna come. So there'll be barbecue.
And so how long does it last where they actually do, those that have participated to help, you know, where you guys sell to the community? How long does that go for? What time do you usually do that?
We're gonna start selling the sandwiches about 10:30, 11 on Saturday.
But usually they're gone by 10:35. I've showed up at 10:36 and they're gone.
We'll ration it because we will let you help yourself. We'll be serving you, so.
Well, the judging actually starts at 12, and it's in, every 30 minutes, they turn in a different meat. So,
This is actually our 18th year.
Wow.
so. And yeah, occasionally we do need extra judges, so if you want your name in, Okay.
You don't have to be certified,
We have 10.
10 local judges that you can.
Oh, wow.
And we have to have a judge per team, so,
Wow, great.
and then we have table captains too.
I was a judge for 2 or 3 years. And it's tough.
Didn't eat for a week afterwards?
What's nice is you get to take them home.
I do volunteer.
Okay,
You can call it.
okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
For all your help.
Any other questions? I'd entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion by Jerry and a second by Joe to approve the security contract for the Wild West Cook-Off contest. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Item 6, I think we're back up, Kyle. An agreement of memorandum of understanding with Domestic Safety Resource Center.
We've been working with Domestic Safety Resource Center for many years, provide services to domestic violence victims, sexual assault victims. And this is just a memorandum of understanding. We had another one, I believe it was 3 years ago we signed one. This is just a restatement of that. This time in it, there is a term and termination, and also a modification section. That's really the only change we made to this one from the previous agreement we had a couple of years.
And I reviewed it and I have no issues with it.
Thank you.
I make a motion, we sign the MOU and have the mayor sign.
Mayor Pro Tem.
The what?
The Mayor Pro Tem.
Mayor Pro Tem sign, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Oscar and a second by Joe to approve the agreement with Domestic Safety Resource Center and have the Mayor Pro Tem to sign. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Item 7, request for an extraterritorial water and wastewater service, and the Honorable Pat Mason is arriving.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, and City Council. I can speak from experience. I've been a barbecue judge on several occasions.
Yeah.
And you won't regret it. So, word of caution, this is kind of what. Now I judge my own barbecue quite a bit.
Must be good.
Yeah, it is. So we've had a request from Claudia Medina at 6626 East Rodeo Drive for an extraterritorial water and wastewater service. Both of those services are readily available at that site. In fact, there's many other houses out there that are on it currently. So staff would recommend the council would approve that agreement.
Pat, I just have a question about the ordinances, number 963 and 1022. Did she read those and understand those there?
I did make sure, and I've done that every one of these, to tell them to make sure and read that and thoroughly understand it, because it basically you're signing that you agree that you could be annexed at some point in the future, that it is a double rate, so.
And that they're upheld to the building codes and inspections? Okay, thank you. I don't have any more questions.
Any other questions? I'd entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Joe, second by Oscar, to approve the extraterritorial water and wastewater service agreement with Claudia Medina. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
And Pat Mason will keep standing in front of us to talk to us about the memorandum of understanding for aviation weather cameras at Southeast Colorado Regional Airport.
So about 6 months ago, approximately, we were approached by the CDOT Division of Aeronautics that they were partnering with the FAA on a weather camera system. And so basically, they're offering to pay all the costs associated with the cameras and the installation. And what they'd like to do, like they're doing at these multiple airports around the state, that they really wanted to get something to put down here. And I kind of feel like it might give us some exposure to, people can log on and see what the weather looks like down here, and see our airport, and literally be able to see the planes that are sitting on the apron and that kind of thing. So this is a 3-year agreement, and more or less they cover all the cost of putting replacement parts or repairs. The only thing that they ask is that we provide a 110-volt plug-in and the power source for it, and then that we might assist in installing a new camera once in a while or something that needs some sort of maintenance. So
Did they say where they will put cameras?
they kind of talk like they'll put one facing in each direction, so it'll be one north, south, east, and west. And they kind of want, to see somewhat of the airport, more or less the apron area, and then, the other 3 directions. So we're looking at 2 different sites right now. One would be the snowplow maintenance shop or the terminal building. So either one of those locations are suitable as far as they're concerned, so.
I make the motion to allow CDOT FFA to mount cameras at the airport.
And I've reviewed it. I don't have any issues with it.
Thank you.
I have a question. Is the airport going to be able to also monitor what the cameras are? Can we see what they're seeing?
Exactly. Yeah, we will be. We can log on to the FAA site. CDOT Airlines will be available to the public and us.
What about the airport board? Have they looked at this? What do they think of it?
I plan on taking this actually to them, but I don't think they'd be opposed to it. I think we actually discussed it at one of the meetings, but it's been quite a while back, and they were open to the idea, like the idea, so.
Okay.
I guess you can sign. Southeast Regional, who signs this?
Anne Marie will sign it tonight.
You want to take a motion for her to sign it then?
Sure.
Make a motion to have the Mayor Pro Tem sign the FAA agreement for the cameras.
I'll second.
Jerry, okay. So we have a motion by Oscar and a second by Jerry to approve the agreement and have the Mayor Pro Tem sign it. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pat.
Okay. Slightly confusing topic on our agenda, and that's the City of Lamar authorization to enroll in this app developer program. Rob, would you like to talk to us?
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem, I spoke with Jerome today, and this permission they're needing is to be able to sign an agreement, and so we're going to restructure it, rewrite it so a mayor can sign it at the next meeting, and all it's going to do is allow her to be able to administer it afterwards, and Kirk or whoever is going to sign it at the next meeting to authorize it.
So allow Martha.
Martha,
to be
the
clear.
administrator, they're also going to put a couple of alternates, administrators to be able to work with it afterwards, but they need somebody on a signature line in order to put it into the app stores, both Android and Apple.
So are you assuming we need to table it until?
Yeah, we're just going to table it till next time. I talked to him just a few minutes before the meeting started, and he says we'll just recreate the correct document to have a mayor sign it.
Okay. And Lance, have you looked at the agreement at this point?
Yeah. I don't know that we would have a lot of say in changing anything. It's pretty standard. And I think we're kind of stuck with it. If we want to be on those apps and those platforms, you have to agree to their terms. So, but I don't see any issues with the way they're presented. They are what they are. And either we participate with those programs or try to find another way to have a useful app.
Okay. Can I have a motion to table? Yes. Clerk would like a motion to table the item.
So moved. Second.
Okay, I'm going to call that Daniel moved. And Jerry seconded the motion to table this app developer conversation. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay, bank resolution authorization for check signing. Linda.
So this is really just a housekeeping issue. We've lost an employee at Lamar Light and Power, and this is, we need to add their new employees so that they're able to write checks off of their employee fund. This is what Lamar Light and Power uses to have luncheons for their employees and stuff like that. So I need approval to change the signatures at GN Bank for the Light Plant Employee Fund checking account.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Jerry and a second by Joe to approve the bank resolution and authorize Mayor Pro Tem to sign. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Item 11, discuss and take necessary action on the agreement with Southeast Colorado Mini Storage LLC.
Yes, ma'am. As you all know, we had come to a final agreement with the Southeastern Colorado Mini Storage. And with some new, terms and conditions, we got a lot of progress in the last 2 months. However, it's not complete. And I don't want to stop the progress, but I know we've had a request already to say, hey, you got mostly done and that should be it, and, change the terms again. And I just wanted to bring it up for you guys to decide on extension or change it up a little bit. But I can give you a recommendation, but
I mean, obviously, it was blight before.
Mhm.
That's been dealt with. Now, really, I think an issue on their part is the weathering if they don't finish it.
Mhm.
And so my assumption is that they're gonna work to finish it so the weather's not gonna impact it, what they have uncompleted.
I hope so.
Is that bond still in?
We still have it. We did not give it back.
Has Craig been involved in the middle of this from
Yes.
putting the facade together on the outside and that roof there or the second floor?
Yes, and monitoring it. He doesn't tell them, he doesn't go out there, but it's 75% done.
Do they have any position on it or any requests?
Well, the way they explained it to him was that it's a supply chain problem in their mind, and they.
And it's my understanding they now have the supplies to finish it. The contractor was going to be gone for 3 weeks. That started about a week ago, so he will be back by the end of before the end of this month. And then, at least in my conversations, anticipated having it done by the end of this month, but I don't want to really extend it just that short of a time frame. To me, if it gets extended at all, I would think the end of May would be more appropriate to at least allow and not have to come back here in another 3 weeks or less, and trying to resolve it or figure out what we want to do next. The one thing I would point out is the second floor wasn't initially going to be improved or added, and so they added a completely upstairs, a new upstairs to it, which wasn't part of the plan initially. So do you think that that facade issue that was part of the original agreement, could have been done if absent they weren't trying to improve that second floor as well? So I think there's some consideration to be given there. At least in my conversations with his attorney, it seemed like those were, the completion is doable pretty short time frame, but.
Do you recommend like the end of May?
That's kind of my thoughts. I think they were open to the end of this month, but that just seems like such a short turnaround time. I don't want to run into another issue.
So what action will we have to take if we want to put it to the end of May?
Well, I think it would be a similar situation as to last time. I think doing an extension agreement with that last agreement we just did would be what we need to do. As far as today, I don't think there's anything to vote on because we don't have an agreement in front of you to vote on. It's probably just more of a direction to get council's feedback and input and what they want to do on this.
I guess that'll be my direction. If anybody else has anything different, just, you know, if we get something written up that would postpone it or send it out to the NMA.
If you don't mind, guidance, I'm going to recommend we don't give them the bond back until it's complete. Now, I know the bond is, it's a punitive if you don't do it. And I know that's a stick, so I just would like to recommend that we keep the stick.
Have they requested the bond back?
Yes.
They have. Okay.
Well, at this point in time, I think should have been forfeited because he made up his own time, his own date, and Councilmember Tamez asked the question, is that enough time? You know, several times, you know, because that was a pretty short date that
But in
he himself
consideration, they
made.
did add another, they did
I
increase the
understand that.
structure.
Just so you know, it will cost us more than that bond if we make them forfeit it and make them stop and we take it off. It'll take more than that right now.
What is the actual goal for completion? All the siding, roofed, and painted?
Outside.
Yeah, it's all the outside facade. So I mean, you're talking.
So it'll look like a nice house when you drive by.
And I intended to drive by before the meeting, but I didn't have time. But it's my understanding they put in windows as well.
Correct.
So
And
in my
doors.
conversations, it sounded like the only thing remaining was siding, paint. They have some inside work to do, but that's not as much of a concern for us as the outside. So, now, again, it seemed like, at least what was being presented, now that they have all the materials, they can accomplish that fairly quickly. But again, to avoid having to bring this back in front of you guys again, I think the end of May would probably be a reasonable,
Without forward, without.
but I agree with Rob, keeping that, the bond over their head for performance is important as well.
Are we gonna need to send them a letter stating that they did not meet their deadline? So
Well-
therefore, we have the right to procure that bond
I mean, I think.
and not
I think
refund
it's-
it to them?
If council's position is to enter into an extension agreement, then I don't know that that's anything necessary because you're giving them that extension.
Okay.
You can put in whatever additional information if you wanted to add something like that, but I don't know that that's.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary, but I think, you know, holding the bond for sure and extending it to May.
And the progress over the last 2 months has been significant versus the last 2 years.
Well, we're certainly moving in the right direction now.
Okay, so
We really don't have to have any action. It was discussion and, so you really don't have to do anything.
That's fine.
thank you. Item 12, a resolution number 22-04-01, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Lamar, Colorado, stating the intent of the City of Lamar, initiating annexation proceedings for such property known as the Farm Credit of Southern Colorado, FLCA, located at 1301 East Olive Street in Lamar, Colorado, and setting a date for a public hearing.
Rob, would you like to discuss this one?
Well, this was after we had accomplished all of the background stuff that Craig went through, and we had, requested that we set a hearing for this, and that's the next requirement that we have to have in order to annex this location. There was no problems with it. There was no protest about it, so I didn't see any problem, and I don't think Lance did either.
Looks good, Lance.
From what I have in the packet.
So we need a date set for a public hearing.
So the date that we're requesting is May 23rd. That gives me plenty of time to advertise it in the paper for at least 4 consecutive weeks.
Make a motion. Do you need a motion on that?
I do.
Make a motion to set the date for May 23rd?
May 23rd, and authorize the mayor to attend to sign the resolution.
And authorize the mayor pro tem to sign it.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Oscar and a second by Joe to approve the resolution and schedule the public hearing for May 23rd. authorizing the mayor pro tem to sign the resolution and publish the hearing. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Item 13, an ordinance of the City of Lamar, Colorado, repealing and replacing the Lamar Municipal Code, Chapter 25, Section 26-7B of the Traffic and Vehicles, specifically as to parking prohibited at certain times and places, penalty to protect the roads of the City of Lamar and ensure the safety of the citizens. Chief Miller.
I tried to make that longer for you, but
Yes.
that's all the way that you get in.
I appreciate it.
Council gave us direction to review the ordinance concerning semi-trucks parking on our residential streets, specifically the trailers. So this is the draft that we came up with. Lance and I kicked this back under 4 or 5 times. We couldn't feel this to get it to where it is. A couple things in there. The tractor truck, whether laden or unladen, and semi-trailer, both of those are defined in our model traffic code already. So those are the definitions that we've used to make this ordinance for your review.
This does have to be read.
So what about this? Is this gonna become a loophole? Except when said vehicle is being expeditiously used to render services, such as, but not limited to, loading or unloading. So the not limited to, we can go park all day there to do our laundry or.
But they have to be rendering service.
So you're talking like they're unloading furniture at somebody's
A
house?
moving company comes in to move somebody from the house. They have to be rendering services in order to be parked. They can't just be parked.
You don't see any loopholes in here? Is this gonna be easy for the officers to enforce?
I don't think anything is ever easy to enforce. I think that it is enforceable this way. It gives people the opportunity to, a moving company comes in to move you out of your house, it gives you the opportunity to do that. Construction companies bringing in loaded lumber. Sod is bringing in loaded sod. They can still do those things without violating the law. It's really gonna be kind of a common sense thing for my guys. They pull up there and they see forklifts going up and getting stuff out of the truck, or guys walking in and out of the house. Yes, if we drive up and there's nobody around and sit under a shade tree, that's a whole different problem.
That's all I have.
If we don't have any other questions, we do need to read this. I am looking for volunteers. So I'll read some at least. Pitch in when I seem tired. An ordinance of the City of Lamar, Colorado, repealing and replacing the Lamar Municipal Code, Chapter 26, Section 26-7B of the Traffic and Vehicles, specifically as to parking prohibited at certain times and places, penalty to protect the roads of the City of Lamar and ensure the safety of citizens. Whereas residential streets of the City of Lamar, Colorado are not designed to withstand the impact of tractor trucks, laden or unladen, or semi-trailers, and the parking of these large vehicles damages residential street services in the city and lessens the longevity of the street service and underlayment. And whereas tractors and semi-trailers, whether attached or unattached, are large vehicles and large trailers that can obstruct the view of drivers when entering roadways or exiting driveways, creating a public hazard and safety risk for the citizens of Lamar, Colorado. And whereas the majority of streets and alleys within the city are small, narrow, and incapable of safely and regularly supporting traffic and parking by tractors or semi-trailers. And whereas residential streets have multiple driveways designed for the safe parking of vehicles, and the parking of the large vehicles on the public roadway can obstruct the view of the drivers when entering the public roadway from these driveways. And
Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Lamar, Colorado as follows. The Lamar Municipal Code, Chapter 26, Section 26-7B is hereby repealed, replaced, and reenacted to read as follows. It is unlawful for any truck, tractor, whether laden or unladen, or semi-trailer, whether attached or unattached, to be parked, stand, stopped, stored, or left unattended on any residential street, road, alley, or right-of-way which is maintained by the City of Lamar, except when said vehicle is being expeditiously used to render services, such as but not limited to loading or unloading, to a property located within 200 feet of where said trailer is parked. Residential streets shall be defined as those streets, roads, alleys, or right-of-ways maintained by the city located within the zones or districts as shown on the official zoning map designated as R-1 Residence District, R-2 Residence District, R-3 Residence District, M-H Mobile Home District, PUD Planned Unit Development District, and O-E Open Estates. This ordinance is necessary for the protection of the public health, welfare, and safety of the residents of the said city of Lamar, Colorado. Should any part of this ordinance be declared invalid by a court of competent jurisdiction, the remainder shall remain in full force in effect.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved. And have Mayor Pro Tem sign.
Second.
I have a motion by Oscar and a second by Jerry. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Thank you.
Well,
I got nominated from the back of the room, didn't I? Okay, so, Rick Akers and I met with Kevin Mahan from Colorado Parks and Wildlife. The signs out at the North Gateway Park have been used and abused, sitting in the hot sun, and they needed to be replaced. So nobody came up with the idea to replace these. Rick brought up the idea of maybe modifying some of the ordinances we currently have in place. Some of those, or one of those, is the designation of North Gateway Park as a dog park. Encouraging people to take the dogs out there and throw the tennis ball for them, but the dog won't catch it. This would allow Rick to designate some rules for the dogs as they're out at the dog park. And we post those, and then people would be encouraged to take their dogs out there and enjoy the park with their dogs off leash. Second thing is, we have an ordinance right now that only, the speed limit in all of our city parks is 10 miles an hour. And that makes sense for Willow Creek. It's a small, narrow street, pretty winding, lots of kids playing right there. What the suggestion is to go to a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit on North Gateway. And then the third one is archery range. So, thank you, Rick. The Parks and Wildlife wants to set up a 3D archery range out there with the deer and things on the north side of the river. Right now we have an ordinance that says you can't shoot anything, any projectiles in the city limits of Lamar. In order to do that, we need to amend our ordinance or our municipal code to allow us to use archery bows and arrows out of the park.
And you said at what location there is it?
On the north side of the river. So we own some
It
land.
has to be at a designated location.
Right. Not be designated by this committee. And Rick said he would love to read this one.
Well, thank you, Rick. I heard you, though. Are there any questions? I can tell you, Rick and I had a conversation earlier today, and I was a little concerned about, because it is well used by lots of kids and families, to have just the entire area have dogs able to be off leash. I don't know if that concerns anybody else, or a portion of it could be.
What it says, I believe, is the Parks and Rec Director can designate a portion thereof or the entire thing.
Is it going to be a fenced area then?
That's the plan right now, is to have a fenced area to be designated as a dog park.
Okay.
We got plans already, and whether he wants to
Rick's shaking
designate it or
his
not.
head no.
Yes, we do.
So I'm not buying it.
Actually, there are plans, council, that They were looking, or you are looking at putting in a fenced area for a dog park out there. I can tell you that I've been out there a lot. And if you go out there, and especially in the summertime, you go out there in the mornings, people are out there using that to exercise. They're walking around, there's nobody out there, they got their dogs, they're not hurting a thing. They're out there, they got a place, we finally have a place that's close enough to town that they can enjoy nature, they can check out all, everything, and they have a place for their dogs. And I just hate to see us always inhibiting the citizens to really enjoy that. So, yes, if we didn't like Pond 1, say for example, right as you come in, we didn't want that, but Ponds 2 and 3 was a dog park, so towards the back, because that's where they always have them. But people are out walking, they're using that as an exercise trail, they're walking, their dogs are right there. I have yet to see a dog that has not been well behaved.
I have.
If I may, I use it quite often and still do. I've met a lot of families there walking their dog the same way I do, and that's off leash. And everybody kind of gets to know each other, and I have not met a dog out there that's not been friendly.
And we have
walking in the morning like that.
Checking with other areas within the state that have dog parks as far as their rules go. Some of the things we're looking at is even though they're off leash, the owner still has to have a leash. They need to be vaccinated, they need to be licensed. So there's rules and regulations that will go with this that they need to follow. But I would recommend that we allow them a place that they can go and enjoy and walk and exercise their dogs.
And that is true. I've met a lot of folks that are very cordial. I carry a leash, they carry a leash, and if there's some question, we're quick to leash our dogs really quick until they get to know each other. You know what I mean? I've not had a bad experience out there, and I've been walking it for 3 years now.
Now, typically, like you said, it's a morning thing that this really does happen.
It is a morning thing.
What if we set a time frame for it, at least in the moment, set up to 10 o'clock? After that, it has to be on the leash, because after that, then's when you're gonna get families and kids out there most of the time. But before that, kids and families probably aren't gonna be crowding the park or in the area. And so if it's before that and they're walking their dogs, typically that's what people are there doing, exercising, walking their dogs. After that, when you get more people there to fish and barbecue or whatever, people aren't gonna be walking their dogs like that anymore. They probably should have them on the leash if there's more people there.
Right, and you're right, because we have noticed since we got that picnic shelter in with the new beach and everything, that's probably gonna be our #1 rented shelter. I mean, we have families that are renting that because the kayaks and the paddle boards and stuff, they just love that place out there. Businesses are using it for their company picnics. They're going out there, they can get away. So if you wanted to designate a time, up until 10 a.m., whatever council feels is appropriate, I'm good with that.
Well, I'd like to see it from opening till 10 a.m. Because I go out there by 5 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 6. I'll make 3 rounds or 2 rounds, and I'm usually done within an hour.
So wait, how far along, or how far until the city has an actual fenced-in location for a dog park? Because in the ordinance that currently presents itself, it says a designated area. And obviously you can designate pond 3 or 4 or whatever, but if the city has an actual fenced-in location, then I would say that the time element would not really.
Well, still, I think what happens is they're not really going to put their dog in the cage, in the fenced area. They're walking around, and so they want to walk with their dog. And so really, that's kind of what happens. They're not just there to go to a dog park to let their dog run in a fenced area. They're wanting to actually walk around the park with their dog.
So if we have them off leash by a certain pond, then we're expecting them to put the dog back on leash when they come on around. I just think we're opening ourselves up to
I think the suggestion is to fence it by time. Allow them free use of those areas up till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whatever it is, and then after that, you have to restrict them
on a leash after that.
I think that's what they were saying. I know that previously the discussions were to designate a place, and that's where they can bring them, so.
And I mean, if that's gonna take place where there is actually gonna be just a dog park that's fenced in, well then, any hour that they wanna have them in there is fine. But in the mornings, when people are wanting to walk and have their dogs with them off leash, I don't think that'd be a problem, because I don't think there's a lot of traffic at that time from families and children.
Well, not that early in the morning, there isn't.
And honestly, I've been out there when there's been company picnics and stuff, and I haven't seen, the dogs that I have seen are on leash. And usually they're the smaller dogs, they're not, like the Labs or the German Shepherds or things like that. They're the smaller dogs, and they have those. This is the council's will. My hope is that those people, the other day I was out there, and of course I think it was after 10 o'clock because we're still in the cool time, but people aren't out there. And there's a guy out there all by himself, throwing the ball and letting that dog run. You do a chain link area, the dog's not gonna get any exercise because it's not that big. You can't just throw the ball and let the dog go get it. It's gonna be a confined space.
Now, in the evenings, I haven't walked my dog in the evenings out there, but we've been out there in the evenings. And I just thought 20 miles an hour was just too fast. Because I've seen a lot of other folks, they'll walk in the evenings too. And, there's not really a designated pathway for us to walk on. So we walk on the dirt road that the vehicles are traveling on. And I have to step aside while that vehicle is traveling so we don't get ran over.
Well, I'd like to say that we got common sense. I mean, like Memorial Drive, it's 30 mile an hour, and there's a lot of people on that. And 30 mile an hour is too fast.
But it's not a dirt road.
Well, it's not a dirt road, but we're talking 20 versus 30, and I see what you're saying.
Mayor Pro Tem, you think maybe we could, guys, work on a little guidance and then table it till we take this up at the next?
Do I hear a motion to table it?
So move that we table it for our next council meeting?
Second that?
Jerry made the motion, Joe seconded to table this for further discussion and refinement. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you. Thank you for your help, Rick.
Yes, thank you, Rick.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay, we're up to miscellaneous, and that's, do we have any other miscellaneous items? I think there was.
I have one thing I'll bring up with afterwards in the executive session.
Okay. And then I was going to ask Martha if we had any questions or comments on Facebook. Okay.
Here.
So our last item on the agenda is an executive session for discussion of a personnel matter under CRS Section 24-6-402, subsection 4F, for discussion with city administrator.
I make a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Motion passes. There will be no business coming out of this session. Thank you for joining us, and have a great evening.